Lynn? Oh, no, you called her. Okay, good. That would have been scary if she called in.
We'll talk to her?
Line, what's she on, line 7? Line 6?
Yeah, 7.
Uh-oh.
She's on.
Is she up?
Hello.
Susan?
Yes?
Did you hear me talking?
No, what did you do?
This is Adam Carolla from Loveline.
Who?
I'm on the air with your husband's on tonight.
Oh, yeah, you. I forgot about you.
I was saying to your husband that I was at my house today. Somebody came over and picked up the invitation for Drew's birthday party.
Uh-huh.
And they were reading through it, and they got to the bottom where it said $20 for kids, $10 for adults.
Flipped around.
And said, what's up with this? And I said, I don't know. I never really thought about it, but it is a little peculiar that you're charging to go to someone's birthday party. As a matter of fact, if anyone knew Drew, they'd know that he should be paying them to come to the party. So now, where's that coming from? I'm not trying to put you on the spot too much here, but I am trying to bust your balls a little bit.
Well,
$20? I see Drew every night. I'm miserable. I pay $20 if you go in the bathroom for a half hour and leave me alone.
well, here's the real reason. Because I'm used to throwing parties where everybody says they're going to show up and nobody shows up.
Oh, so you're going to punish them?
I'll have 20 people invited, and they'll say they're going to come, and only 10 will show up.
Right.
And basically, it's just to guarantee that they're going to come to the party.
Yeah. Now I feel like paying the 20 and not going, just to make a statement, you know, man. So,
No,
but hold on, Susan. People are going to Vegas for this thing. They got to get a room. They got to get airfare, right?
I know, but you could have talked to me.
And not put it on the radio.
I know, but this is good. This is good for the air.
I probably would have let you off the hook.
But here's what I'm saying. If you're obviously people are going to show.
It's a test. It's a test. If people start belling that up, she knows they're coming.
But if people belly up the $400 or whatever it is for the airfare,
they always cancel that.
All right, but if they cancel that, then they're not getting the money for the party either, are you?
Well, the other stuff, right? That's the only one you won't get back.
Here's what we've
you
done
won't?
in the past.
Unless she gives it to you.
So you can actually make money off this?
Well, you know, this has a history. We actually
I'm sure this is
would
fascinating to everybody.
get together and have a party, and we said, you know, everybody come to dinner, and we'll have a big dinner, and everybody would pay for their own food, and we'd have a really great time. So this year I decided, well, we'll just have a huge party, and I'm going to hand out a service fee because of the fact that, you know, it has to be the way that it's working out.
Yeah, honey, you're digging a grave
I'm
now.
actually a travel agent.
Oh,
okay?
no kidding.
This is a package for me, and I'm not spending money on this. I'm going to pay for the whole thing.
Wait, hold on.
Everybody's paid for dinner, and it was a service fee. It was a crappy idea.
Yeah, it's a bad idea. I think you got to send something out, some sort of retraction out.
You know what? I don't have to now because you've announced it to the entire nation. I really appreciate it.
I'll announce it every 20 minutes like they do a recall on an automobile.
You know what? It was one of these things where I wanted to make sure that everybody was...
I understand. But, you know, here's the deal.
You're making me nervous.
All right, either they love Drew or they don't. The $20 ain't going to get in the way of that.
All right, then
you can't buy love.
Every person that doesn't show up, will you pay the $45 that it's going to cost me to throw the party per person?
I will not pay the money, but I promise I will eat the food that you had allotted for them and drink the booze you had set aside. How about that?
Close enough.
I'll have a couple of my buddies from North Hollywood High on alert, and we'll page them to come in like bears going through a garbage at a campsite to just clean up anything that's left behind.
Okay.
All right. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything.
Is there anything else about our house you wanted to tell?
No.
That was
Susan,
it?
you know I love you, baby.
Oh, yeah, I know you do.
I'm a big fan of your husband's work.
Putting me on the spot.
All right.
Good night.
All right. Good night.
Buddy.
I don't kick Drew's ass when he gets home either.
Oh, yeah,
this is my idea.
That won't happen.
All right, so I was right. It was just a horrible idea.
Listen, I'm not involved with this.
Okay.
I questioned it, and I just said,
A little peculiar. I don't know. I got a pretty bad taste in my mouth about the whole thing now. I'm not sure if I'm going. All right. She's a lover. Listen, she has the best of intentions. She's looking out for you.
That's right.
All right, we're going to Vegas. We're having a good time. What's that, month and a half?
Yeah, a month.
All right. looking forward to that. I'll tell you about this wild car accident after we take a call or two. But
Was that all you had to say about our house, by the way?
House? Fantastic.
No, you said you had to say something about our house. You meant this thing?
Yeah.
The invitation.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeannie.
Yes.
You're 20.
Yes.
What's going on?
I kind of wanted to talk to Dr. Drew about the fact that I was just diagnosed with a pelvic infection, and I have a 6-month-old baby who nurses, and they told me the antibiotic that I'm going to have to be on, I'm going to have to stop nursing him. And he's never eaten out of a bottle. He's never eaten any cereal or anything, and I'm really worried about how this is going to affect him.
It's not going to be the first child that's transitioned to a bottle at 6 months of age.
And I was also wondering if after I'm off the antibiotic, if I'm going to be able to nurse him again.
He may not be too interested in it again.
Once you get him off?
Yeah, once you get over the bottle. But
I'm thinking about going back.
But, your anxiety and your sense of security that you provide him is maybe more important than anything else. I mean, you sound awfully anxious about this whole thing.
Yeah.
And one of your first jobs is to help the child manage anxiety. So you need to calm down about
it.
it.
My husband joined the Navy just so that I could stay home and nurse him.
That's fine. That's fine.
House mom.
He quit his job as a high-profile attorney.
How'd you end up with a pelvic infection?
I don't know. I've never had anything wrong. I've never even had a yeast infection or anything. And all of a sudden I was in some great pain. I went to the doctors. Actually, I went to the ER.
So this is some remnant of the childbirth, I think?
Actually, he told me that it's just that the bacteria is already there. It just kind of acted up. So I think
it's a remnant of the husband joining the Navy, if you know what I'm saying.
Have you talked to your gynecologist about this?
I actually don't have a gynecologist.
Okay, before you do anything, see a gynecologist, okay?
Yeah.
Who delivered your baby?
I was in North Carolina then.
Okay, go have your... Listen, I don't... If this is an important decision to you...
Really?
Well, she's very concerned about maintaining the breastfeeding.
Why are you concerned about the gynecologist? Why do you think this is suspicious?
She went to... Because the emergency room guys probably assumed that she was... I mean, her husband's out of town. And she's not even having sex, and they're treating her for pelvic inflammatory disease, it sounds like. It's just ridiculous. I think they may be off base a little bit, and they may be able to at least get an antibiotic going that would not appear in the breast milk, potentially.
Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
I was listening to something. You can breastfeed a kid, up until, the kid's 7.
I know, some people have done that.
I mean, there's some really weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
Now...
Maybe that was a hippie thing. That was the thing they did.
Maybe it's nature's way or something.
No.
Maybe you're just a uptight white man.
No.
$20 to go to your party. Or you're maybe a little uptight. $20. What, I got to tip you on the way out? Hey, Drew, I brought you a present, but I'd like to be reimbursed. Did I tell you the biggest jackass of all time, which was, I know I've told this story once, but I think it was like a year and a half ago. I just went to Darren from Goldfinger's bachelor party last weekend, so it's kind of fresh in my mind. And his best man called me and said, I'm going to need to collect the money in advance for the bachelor party. And I said, how about this? How about I show up with a few bucks in my wallet, and I give you what you need when I show up to the party? And he said, no, I just don't want to get screwed. And I said, well, you look at it this way. If I show up, I got money. And if I don't show up, I don't owe you anything.
Right.
Yeah. And he gave me one of those, listen, I trust you, you're cool. I just don't want to get screwed. And I said, well, what do you want me to do? Run the money over to your house of $40, a week in advance? Don't worry. I got money in my wallet. I'm ready to party. But anyway, buddy of mine had a bachelor party. I think I told you this, Drew. Went out with the best man, sort of a Julio Iglesias type, real suave guy. Was a doctor in Miami. Looked like Don Johnson.
Yeah.
Came out here from Miami, rented a Porsche, big hotshot guy with the tan and everything, wearing the purple crushed velvet blazer. Went out, met at a restaurant, decent restaurant. At the end of the night, check came, everyone reached for the wallet. He said, no, I got it. I'll pick it up.
Oh, I remember you told me
Everyone
this.
looked at him and said, hey, thanks a lot, buddy. Appreciate that. Later went
in front of the room.
Front of the room.
Yeah.
Later went to a strip joint. Actually went to a drag joint. Huge mistake, everybody. The last thing you want to do is get drunk and lust after men who look like women. But we went to a drag joint. The Queen Mary, as a matter of fact. This is the night I met my stripper girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah. He reaches, drinks come around. Again, everyone reaches for their wallet. He says, no, I got it. And everyone says to him, hey, thanks a lot, man. It's real generous of you. But he's a big-time doctor, and he's the guy's best man. He makes a lot of money. I drag everyone out of there, and I take them to the Star Garden in North Hollywood. High five to Bubba, the bouncer, walk right in. See Catlin up on stage. That was the night I made her mine, Drew. The point is everyone left, and she had to drive me back to the drag place. Oh. Ended up going to Denny's for coffee for about 5 hours. But, again, everyone reaching for the wallet. He says, no problem, I got it. So, week goes by, we go to the wedding. I catch up to him at the wedding, the day before the wedding. I say, hey, Ron, thanks a lot. I don't know if I thanked you the other night for the bachelor party. It was real generous of you. He acts like he doesn't pay any attention to me. It was kind of weird. Later on, they have the wedding. They have the reception. People are drinking. People are walking around. The guy, the guy who got married, Phillips, his accountant. His accountant, who was at the bachelor party, not the best man's accountant, the groom's accountant, comes up to me and the groom's brother, who are sitting around having a beer after the wedding, and says, hey, I'm collecting money for Ron. We started laughing. What? They're the best man. He figured it out. Everyone owes him about $30.
This guy is an asshole. Oh, yeah.
I said, are you serious? Yeah, he's serious. He sent you around to collect the money? Well, I am his accountant. So what's that have to do with anything? This is bizarre. Yeah, so I went and told my buddy Philip, I said, keep an eye on this guy. He's flawed. I know you think he's your best buddy. You've known each other for 10 years. He was your best man. He's a big hotshot, head of God knows what in Miami hospital and everything. Keep an eye on him.
What happened to him?
Turned out to be 3 years later, he said, hey, that guy turned out to be a freak.
Yeah.
I said, that's right. That, everybody's what you call a character flaw, and you can't run from a character flaw. When people are flawed like that, that's it. You can't excuse that. Oh, he was drunk. You don't understand him. Yeah. There's another side of him. No. When you do something like that, you're flawed. It's like you put a firecracker in a cat's ass, you're flawed, unless you're under 13. You rape somebody, you're flawed. You beat a kid, you're flawed. Yeah. I don't care if you did it once or 1,000 times. There's certain people are flawed, and this is just as flawed an act as anything else was. I told him, I know he's your best friend, but he's flawed. And it turned out to be an a-hole. All right.
We're going to go to break.
Let me just tease a call before we go to break. Sarah?
Yes.
You're 21.
Yes.
What's going on?
Well,
Wait a minute, I'm going to read it. How do you tell racist dad that she's going to trial for rape by black boyfriend?
Ex-boyfriend, thank you.
Ex-boyfriend, sorry.
Yes.
All right, hold on. Wow.
And she sounds 12.
Uh-oh. Okay, this is going to be good. We'll be back.
Hi, this is David Spade, and when I'm driving around listening to the radio, if there's absolutely nothing on any other station, I listen to Loveline with Adam and Drew, because I'm naughty.
Yes, he is. That's my DJ voice. Yes, you is. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455.
You sound like it. Let's do this.
What's that? What do you got there?
We have to do some liners.
Oh, we'll do that. Drew and I did a big, long satellite tour today. I went to bed at 3. I got up at 6:15 this morning and talked to 35 TV stations about nothing.
I got a fax. How was the Arizona one?
That's the one where we had a little trouble.
Somebody, faxed and apologized for how bad the interview was.
Oh, thank you. Was it somebody,
just a listener,
a viewer?
Who's an avid fan, and they set their alarm to get up and watch, and they're
really? You know what happened with the Arizona one, and that's the only one I remember.
Because it stood out.
Shut up, Mike. Yeah, I remember it because she said, well, I don't know who they have over there, but here's the deal. A lot of people that got into TV and certainly into radio, they never really got into it because they were any good at it. They just got into it because they wanted to be on TV and or radio. And they just ask her questions, but they never listen to you. So they just have a list of questions. And how these satellite interviews work, everybody, is you just sit in a room on a chair with a mic pinned to your lapel, and just a blue sort of blank screen behind you and a camera, and you just look at the camera. Now, you don't...
Earpiece.
You have an earpiece that can hear the local Good Morning Tampa, Good Morning Tucson, Good Morning whatever show. You can't see who you're talking to. You just look right at the camera, and I guess if you're in Tucson or somewhere in Arizona and you're at home and you're watching, it kind of just looks like... any of those cable shows, Larry King, or not Larry King, but anyone where they're not face-to-face, like Grodin or something like that. Right. But anyway, in the Arizona one, the woman said, she was kind of obnoxious, sounded like an ex-homecoming queen type, and she said, she was always laughing, "This is a family show," and she kept laughing, and she said, "What is the strangest call you all have ever got? Remember, this is a family show." And I said, well, seeing as how it's a family show, I won't tell about the time the guy was having sex with his dog. And she started jumping, "It's a family show. This is a family show." And I said to Drew, "Hey, Drew, is this a family show?" And Drew went, "I think it's a family show." So a couple of minutes later, now she was really paranoid. And so a few minutes later, now meanwhile, she did this interview where she just read the questions, and she wouldn't answer or respond to anything.
Wasn't listening to us
we
at
said
all.
She wasn't listening. There'd be a little pause. You'd hear her breathing, and then you'd get to the next question. But the funny thing is about 30 seconds later, after the dog having sex thing and the family show thing rattled off a few times, she said, "How would you describe your relationship with your audience?" And Drew started, droning on about God knows what. And I said, "It's the Gainsburger thing." And this is something I made up a year and a half or 2 years ago. And I think it's one of the few things I repeat, but it sort of works, which is when you want your dog to take a pill, an antibiotic, because it's got some stomach worms, you give him the pill, the dog spits it out on the ground. It's not going to take it. You got to take that pill. You got to smash it in a little Gainsburger. You got to give it to your dog. The dog's going to lap it up. Well, Drew's the pill, and I'm the Gainsburger. That's the relationship we have in the show. They get the medicine, and they don't even know it. Well, the thing that was funny is I said, the dog, and you take the pill, and you ram it right in the middle of the Gainsburger. And she went, "Oh, no, this is a family show, this is a family show." Yeah. And Drew was going, no, listen to him. And then I go, so you take the pill and you mash it down inside the mouth. Oh, it's a family show, it's a family show. And so Drew was arguing like an idiot. Okay, no. And I said, "Drew, don't argue with her.
It's a family show. Get out of here."
She
said, "We're leaving. We're gone."
I said, "It's a family show. Just stop talking." So we stopped talking, and then they just faded out. And then, all right, now Pop Larson's down at the Craig and Auto Parts. He's got some tips on how to beat the heat.
And it was like, get a tape of that.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Ooh.
It was pretty.
We had some decent ones, though. Some of them were all right.
I don't remember any of them because I slept for 3 hours, but the point is I would have loved to have seen that. That's funny. All right, now on to... anyway, so the thing is you do about 3 minutes with each different affiliate, and you power through about 25 of them in about 2 hours, and you're completely fried, and you just sit there drinking coffee. And it's always surreal because you're always off a 3 hour sleep, which makes everything bizarre. Yeah. All right, who are we speaking to? Sarah? Sarah, we talked to before we went to the break. She's 21, had to tell her racist dad that she's going to trial to try to bust her ex-black boyfriend for rape. Sarah?
Yes.
How long did you go out with him?
Sound like a 21-year-old?
No.
We went out for 2 months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What happened? You were raped before this guy, though?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
What happened before this guy?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No. Nothing like that.
Not with him, but with someone else?
No.
Not a boyfriend? Family member?
No.
Huh?
No, that's not right.
What about
like this had ever happened before.
What about your racist dad?
My dad, he's a minister in Wisconsin. And I'm in Kentucky. I have no family down here. And I started dating this guy. I thought he was really nice. We met like right before I turned 21 in March. And we started dating, and he was really nice, and I thought he was sleeping around. I didn't know. Now I know he was for sure, because it happened to another girl that's with me against him on this case. And so I had broken up with him on the 16th of May. It was Saturday. He was really drunk anyway, so I just told him to get out of my house. You know, we had a big fight, and he left.
Yeah.
And that Tuesday night, he came, and whatever happened, happened.
He raped you?
Yeah.
Had you had sex with him before, though?
Yeah, we had a relationship. We were together.
For how long were you together?
2 months.
2 months.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what did he do? How did he get in the house?
He wanted to talk.
Oh,
And I
okay.
had let him in to talk.
All right, so you want to press charges, or you're going to press charges against him?
Yeah, I have grand jury Thursday morning.
No, hold on one second. Let me talk to my partner, Drew.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, she got that little girl voice.
Yeah.
Her dad's a racist and a minister.
Yeah.
She's calling from Kentucky.
Good.
It sounds like trouble, but she pressed charges.
She's going after it, yeah.
She's going after the guy.
Yeah.
Which says to me she's healthy.
Right.
She wouldn't go after the guy otherwise.
Right.
When did you lose your virginity?
When I was 17.
17?
Mm-hmm.
Did your dad ever strike you or anything like that, physically abuse you?
Yeah.
No. He was very stern, and we got spanked when we were children. Not really spanked, I guess you would say. He struck us, yeah.
Did he use an object?
Yeah.
Okay, that's against the law.
What do you use, the Bible?
No.
Not only is that that's against the law, it's abuse.
The Torah?
I mean, that's why
He used spoons and belts.
Okay.
Spoons and belts?
All right, Sarah. So you've been abused. This is what we were picking up on.
Oh, okay.
And so that's what led this guy to sense out that you were a good victim for him.
Yeah, but it turns out she's not such a good victim.
Well, but she was good enough to manipulate, to go out on rape and whatnot. And thank God she'd never been victimized before, or she'd never really been in that role. Yeah.
Yeah, she was sort of halfway there.
Right, and so she's going to take it and do what's right. Okay.
But my question is kind of, how... I'm sorry, I'm at work, so I have to kind of speak.
Well, it's interesting that you would bring to the table, how am I going to deal with my dad? You know, how about your own feelings and going forward in this very difficult...
I can do it by myself. I've been
but the point is that your thinking immediately goes to your dad. And if you want to give your dad any credit at all, it's his abuse of you that put you in the position to have this happen to you in the first place. Okay, so really what Dad has to say about this, I couldn't care less. I'm sorry.
No, I couldn't either.
It's important to me, though, Drew.
Well, he listened.
But I'm trying to support Sarah. I don't mean to invalidate that issue, but I'm just trying to support you and give you the message that you're concerned about Dad should not be nearly as much as you're concerned about yourself and your own feelings. And sure, you want the connection, support of your family, but what he believes and thinks about this should not concern you, because you're a separate person, and whatever victimization you've gone through is really set up by him anyway.
But see, that doesn't help me in the sense of I'm here alone, living alone, work 12 to 8 every night.
You just finished saying that you could do it by yourself.
I know, but it's hard.
So imagine how much Dad's going to love black guys after this.
Yeah.
Tell him he was white when you started dating him.
Excuse me?
All right, but Sarah, I don't know what you want us to tell you. What city? Shush up.
Is she African American?
For Christ's sake. No, she's not black. What are you, some kind of moron,
well, I'm
Drew?
just curious. Some people get really weird about this stuff.
Retarded, for Christ's sake. Hold on. Shut Drew's mic. That's enough. I don't know. I gave it $20 in it for the party. All right. And Sarah, you're white, right?
Yes, sir.
Of course you're white. There's no black chick named Sarah. Sarah Vaughn. What color was she? All right. The point is this. You live in where? Kentucky?
I live in Kentucky.
Your father lives in what city?
Wisconsin, Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Good enough. You don't need him. Why do you need him? This is going on in Kentucky. It's going on in Kentucky. Listen, you want to bust your dad's balls is what you want to do.
Right. The whole thing was to try to recreate something with him anyway, to get him reestablished as the idealized dad.
Mike's back on, everybody.
Yeah, the idealized dad she had in the first place.
Let me explain what went on, everybody. I swear to God, Sarah, listen to me. This is what went on. Your dad beat you with a belt. He beat you with a spoon. What do you do, a little hand jive with that spoon? He beat you with a belt. He beat you with a spoon.
Guido.
He's a racist, and so what do you do? What do you do to pay Papa back? you get up with a black guy, right?
I guess.
Screw Dad. You got anger for him. Let's face it, you hate the guy, and this is the way you pay him back. Right. So, now I feel bad. But now now you want Dad to know. He doesn't have to know, but you're going to let Dad know that here's what happened.
Where's your mom?
In Michigan.
Why don't you use your mom as a source of support?
Yeah, but...
And your friends.
So you drew
people that you know are going to actually be genuinely available and supportive, and not potentially add to the misery.
But you're missing the point.
I understand. I got the point. I got the point. I'm trying to get her back into a realistic posture, which is to get the support she needs.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Well, here's take a breath, because you've been through a lot.
Are you getting treatment for your rape?
Excuse me?
Are you getting treatment for the rape?
No.
Why don't you make a commitment to do that?
I don't know how. I have no insurance.
There are rape support groups, 12-step groups. There's all kinds of things available out there. Do you have an attorney?
No. I'm just doing it with the chief of police from my...
Okay. Then talk to the chief of police about whatever available resources there are for people that have been victimized by violent crimes.
They have. This is one thing we have in this country of ours. I mean, we do have a pretty decent network set up for this, for rape, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's the one thing you can get support for with little or no cost.
And Sarah, I hope you're not feeling as though Adam is trying to make you feel responsible for being a victim of rape. That's not the issue here at all. It's just... we're trying to get you to be more realistic about why this need to go after Dad for something that's unrealistic and you know you're not going to get from him.
I just want him to... I don't know.
We know you just want him to know. We know it's all part of a sort of wreckage from the past.
Right.
But get the people that are actually going to support you, mom, friends. Get that built structure in place long before Dad gets involved.
The Dad one, I know what the impulse is, but it's going to backfire and it's going to get you in deeper. See, Sarah, whatever issues you have with your dad, you have with your dad. But they don't really involve this boyfriend, his skin color, or what he did to you. The issues that you have with your dad are 15 years old,
right,
and they're separate.
Yeah.
So if you want to address those, then address those. But here's what I would do. All right, Sarah, I'm going to lay out the next 6 months of your life for you.
Okay.
You're coming to Vegas with me to go to Drew's party. I want you to swing by the ATM.
I don't have $20.
There, I got that waived. No, listen. I want you to take care of this guy and get him put away like he belongs to be put away. That's a very strong thing to do. And I think it's going to be a very cathartic, empowering thing to do.
Yes.
And you're going to feel good about it. I want you to get involved with a group of people, women, mainly. I hope there's no guys in there, who have been victims of rape, and so you can get a little counseling and work this thing out. And then 6 months from now, 8 months from now, when the trial's behind you and you've got a little counseling in and you're feeling stronger about your position emotionally, then you can go in and start confronting your dad. Not about the rape, not about the black guy, not about any of this, just about his relationship with you.
In the meantime, get mom and friends together and use them as pillars of support.
So, well, I broke that one wide open like Barney and Barnaby Jones.
Yeah, be careful.
Oh yes. Listen, everybody, there's always an agenda. Whenever you go, why does, wait a minute, her dad's a racist. Why would she want him to know that she was sleeping with a black guy? That sounds peculiar. He lives in another state? Oh, he doesn't have to know. Why tell? Something's up.
And it all started with, nothing like that. I was never abused.
Right.
Started with that.
All right. Abused just like that reporter from Arizona got to us. All right, we'll be back.
Hey, this is Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue.
And this is Donna Yerliker from Baywatch. And you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla
and Dr. Drew.
Ooh.
Mike, there we go.
Mike.
Are they still together?
I don't know. I think they may be. She's sober, Donna, now, I think. Last time I ran into her, she was.
Sober, not drinking, or into sobriety? Abstinent or sober?
I don't know. I can't tell you. Either way. She doesn't pronounce her name anymore. It's funny, she has a name that's not good. She's trying to say, that's why when I give birth to a Chinese kid, a name like Wu. You're going to have a pony cake in you and still say Wu. But Dierico, you got to be stone cold sober and have a couple of glasses of Chardonnay and it comes out Dierico.
Sound Dierico from Baywatch.
I think why people have trouble talking when they're drunk is because they focus too much on talking. Normally you just talk. When you're drunk, you actually picture your lips moving. That's why you bite your tongue when you're stoned. You go, where's my tongue now? Ah! You ever do that, Drew?
What do you got there?
Oh. I want to ask Carolla, who sent us this wonderful facts about our appearance on the Arizona morning television today, who said she taped it, I think. I heard you were going to be on it, so I taped it and watched it this evening. I must say I was embarrassed.
Oh, it was on an evening.
It was horrible. Listen, jackass, I taped it and watched it this evening.
I see.
I was embarrassed. It was horrible. That's what it goes on to say. Anyway, this particular show we'll never have, and it'd be funny for us to see it. We'll put some clips on the radio.
Yeah.
Talking about
Gainsburger.
All right, I won't talk about having sex with the dog then. You got to understand, everybody, I have a kind of Tourette's, which is if you tell me 10 times this is a family show, I have to say something that's horrible and offensive because you've driven that. And did I say anything horrible and offensive to anyone else?
No. No.
Thank you. All right, here we go, Drew.
Yeah.
Ready to rock on?
Oh, what about the car accident?
I've been talking too much.
All right.
Okay. You talked me into it. I'm driving home today from this meeting, and it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and as I was driving up my hill, I live up a hill, and there's a windy road, there was a cop car coming up the street, and then another car coming the other way, and there was about 4 or 5 cop cars, and this is an area where there's never any cop cars.
Except the meter maid.
Oh, yeah, she's up there all the time. And a woman in a brand new Infiniti i30 had been going down the hill. It was all over the news today. It was a car accident up in the hills where a car went over the cliff. The woman in her, I don't know what happens to women once they hit menopause, but they should all have their license revoked. As soon as that egg stops dropping, that's when we revoke the license. I swear to God, because she said, here was her excuse. She was going down a windy road, hit the accelerator, and then I guess panicked and stayed on the accelerator, plowed through my buddy JJ's fence, who's about 4 houses up the street from me, and her car was teetering on a 30-foot retaining wall between, the house below this guy's. I mean, she plowed through, just drove through a fence and drove through a bunch of shrubs driving down the side of the hill. And her excuse was, it was a new car. And I thought to myself, in the old car, where was the accelerator? On the steering wheel? Was it was it a throttle control like on a motorcycle or something? The gas is on the right, the brakes on the left. That's it. I don't care if you're driving an F in a Zuzu or a Rolls Royce. Same place.
Right.
You've driven 1,000 rent-a-cars in your life. You've driven down any hills? And here's the real scary part. As soon as she panicked and as soon as she hit the gas a little bit and started lunging forward, she then laid into it.
Yeah. Yeah. She had to.
Imagine how freaked out you'd be if you were in the passenger seat. This guy's like, why are you accelerating into the fence and then down the hill and off the road? Why do you still have the gas on? But eventually the car stopped, and there must have been a slow news day because there were helicopters. There were 5 helicopters buzzing over, and I was looking at the news, and I could see the roof of my house. It was great. But the thing that was funny is there were 6 cop cars on there. Then I don't know what it is with cops, but they immediately turn into dicks in these situations. So we're pulling up the street, and the guy, stops us. Hey, do you live here? You live around here? I said, yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. Okay, move on. Then later on, these roofers are still at my house, and they're looking over the fence at what's going on, and there's some green, sport utility vehicle parked down on the street, perfectly legally. and about a block away from where this was, but they had to move a fire engine in and get a big crane in and everything. And the cop yells up to my house at me and a couple of guys and like, whose car is this? And I said, it's not, which one? This one, move it, now! And I thought to myself, hey, dickweed, the car's parked legally. I didn't plan on some bitch driving off the road up there.
Was it one of your cars?
No.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Wasn't even one of your cars.
And then when I was driving down the hill a half hour later, another cop car was doing about 60 up the main street, heading there. There was already 5 cars there. Listen, and all you hear from the mayor and the police chief, we don't have enough cops. We don't have enough personnel on the street. We can't put enough. Maybe the problem is they're all on the same street. You got one woman in her 50s who drove a car off the road an hour ago, and you got a 6 car speeding up to the scene. The 5 of them aren't enough. I can't stand this. Don't you idiots have radios? Why don't you call up and see what's going on? Yeah, there's 6 cars, Bill. Phil's going on the donut run. You stay down and solve some crime.
I think Culver City's Finest will be stopping by again.
Please.
They'll come by and talk to you, maybe.
Explain to me, if you do come by Culver City's Finest, why there's got to be 6 squad cars when something is completely wrapped up. Why the 6th car needs to be en route at 60 miles an hour to the scene when it's clearly in hand. And how come 8 guys standing by 8 cars with their hands in their pockets and their motor running for an hour? Why is that necessary? Meanwhile, there's some poor Asian liquor store owners getting held up down the street because there's 80 of you having some party and yelling at people that are driving around.
No, time for break again.
No, shut up. Mark, you're 22.
Hey, guys, how are you doing?
Good.
What's going on?
Good. First, I just wanted to give a little testimony on Sarah of how her dad's the minister, and, of course, she's going to go and do something that'll totally piss him off. Because I've done that, and it's taken me a while to realize that I screwed myself over.
Sure.
Just because I was totally pissed at my dad.
Right.
Yeah, you rebel if your parents screw with you.
I know, but a lot of times, I think it's kind of an important point for a lot of people out there to listen to, that if they're doing something that they know is going to get them into trouble, a lot of times they're not doing it, to be cool or whatever. They're doing it because they're trying to piss somebody off, and they end up going to screw themselves over.
Absolutely.
That's what I did. Thankfully, I was rebelling against unemployed parents who didn't have any car insurance, so I showed them by getting a job and buying a house. It was great. It was a real slap in the face.
Okay, Drew, here's the situation.
Mark.
Using heroin. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Totally am ready to get off of it, and I went ahead and met with a neuropsychologist and got a prescription for Revia.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
It's an opiate blocking agent.
Yeah. What he told me, though, I haven't taken it. I got it probably 2 or 3 days ago.
You take it, you're going to go into the worst withdrawal you've had in your entire life.
Tell me. Yeah. He told me I have to stay away from...
At least 2 weeks.
The H, 10 days.
Yeah. 2 weeks, I usually say.
Okay.
But it doesn't...
Maybe it's 10 working days.
Revia doesn't do anything for you,
It what?
It doesn't do anything. It just makes the heroin not work if you shoot it again.
Oh, I never shot it.
Or whatever, smoke it, whatever you do.
Right.
Whatever you do.
It just won't work anymore. And so if you want to get high, guess what you're going to do?
Not going to get high.
Yeah, but if you want to get high, what are you going to do?
I don't know.
You're going to have to stop taking it.
You'll skip your Revia.
No, I'm not going to do that. That's what I'm totally set on. I mean, I've been doing this for way too long. And
Mark, the Revia does not do... have you ever been in recovery?
Yeah.
Okay, go to meetings. Use the Revia as an element of structure in your life.
Yeah.
Such that if you are overcome by an impulse and you do use, at least you won't be getting quite the same effect, or you won't be as apt to sustain the relapse. But if you want to get high, you're going to get high. You're just going to stop. You're going to skip the Revia. But get in the program. Have a lot of structure in your life. Use the Revia as part of that structure. Get a sponsor. Go to 2 meetings a day. The Revia is the slightest little edge. It's not treatment.
Well, you just screwed the whole placebo effect of the Revia, Drew. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. We'll figure that out.
That means Drew's wrong. Anytime it takes more than 10 minutes to answer. All right, we'll go to break. We'll be back. Yeah, I'll come up with it. Hey, we're a little late for a 10-second break, but that's all right. We'll be right back. Maybe we'll even take a call this hour. Drew's been yammering so much. All right, it's Loveline, top of the hour. We'll be back in a scant 10 seconds.
This is Loveline on radio
station. New Rock. KFMA 92.1 FM. Green Valley, Tucson.
Hey, it's Loveline. Phone number 1-800-LVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. So again, Carla, who sent us this fax about Good Morning Arizona, send us that tape. We'd love to dissect that baby on the air. All right, Drew, you ready to rock and roll?
Let's go. Karina?
Hello?
Turn your radio down.
Okay.
Goofball.
Okay.
What's going on?
Well, I have a problem. Every time I have sex with my boyfriend, I bleed a lot.
And when was your last pelvic exam?
It was in December.
And any problems?
No.
Were you having that problem then?
Well, I had a miscarriage.
Since then?
Yeah, in December. And then I went, but then they said, the doctor said everything was fine.
And you've been having bleeding ever since?
Well, only when I have sex.
You need to get back. How have your periods been?
It's like, okay, the last time I had intercourse with my boyfriend was like 2 months ago, and then I haven't stopped bleeding.
So, are you on any medication?
No.
You on the birth control pill?
No.
You got to get back and see the gynecologist, because there may be some what's called retained products of conception, something left over behind after was it a miscarriage?
Yeah.
Did they do a D&C afterwards?
Well, I don't know what they were doing, though.
What's a D&C?
You kind of go in and scrape out the uterus, make sure there's nothing left behind.
Because that can get infected or something?
Yeah.
Because it's not alive?
And cause bleeding like this.
I mean, it's like anything that hangs on you that's not alive
gets infected.
Right, because it's going bad?
Yeah.
Like cheese is left out of the refrigerator.
That's right. So, Karina, it's probably nothing serious, but definitely something that should be looked into for sure. If there's something, all kinds of possibilities here in reality, but things that even could affect your fertility. So get back in right away and take a look at it.
Okay.
Do you have any other kids?
No, I don't.
I don't mean any other kids, but I mean.
Oh, no, that was my first pregnancy.
All right. You using some birth control now?
No.
No. Okay.
How come?
Huh?
How come?
Oh, because I'm not I don't sleep with my boyfriend every day. It's only once in a while.
Oh, okay. Well, you can't get pregnant.
Why wouldn't you still use birth control?
Oh, well, we just condoms. That's about it.
Oh, okay. Well, it's birth control. All right, use those condoms.
Okay.
Don't get pregnant again.
Okay.
All right.
Condoms aren't being used too properly.
Hey, listen, anybody who says, any one of our callers at least, that says the condom broke, I think they're lying.
Yeah.
I would actually reckon that 75% of the time when they say the condom broke, they weren't wearing a condom.
Yeah.
They're just lying.
Yeah.
And they want to seem responsible. Not that Karina said that. I'm just going off on a tangent here, as I'm known to do. But also, or either that or they're not using it correctly.
Right.
You use a condom right, they'll work.
Yep.
All right. Josh.
Yeah.
You're 18.
Yes, sir.
What's going on with your ass?
I'm in some trouble.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I'm in the military.
Uh-oh.
And,
it's enough trouble.
Yeah, no. I went to the processing station before basic and, found a girl, and, we had sex. And then,
Let's cut to what the problem is. What's the problem?
I have 4 girlfriends.
Okay. We didn't need a history on each and every one of them necessarily.
No.
Do they each think they're the only one?
Well, I think so, but I think they're starting to wonder.
Are they all in the same town?
3 of them are.
Oh, boy.
Did you get any of them pregnant?
No.
Are you having sex with all of them?
Do what?
You having sex with all of them?
Yeah.
Send your squad.
God, they gotta be ugly.
No.
Yeah, they gotta be some kind of toothless. I gotta see these women.
I'll send you a picture.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
3 out of 4 of them gotta be ugly.
No.
Really?
Positive.
But they chew tobacco and they have 4 kids?
No.
Huh?
No.
How many of them have kids?
None of them.
Huh?
None of them.
How old are they?
15. 16.
This is why.
17.
He's just praying.
They got the Brady girls.
And 18.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You bastard. I hope one of them gives you the crabs.
You've got a legal problem too, right?
Well, no one's gonna know.
I'm 7.
Listen, when are they gonna ship your ass out of here?
Well, they don't know yet.
Well, where do you think you're going?
Bosnia.
Bosnia?
Yep.
Oh, thank God. Get over there and bang some of that Bosnian punta. Keep out of trouble.
Yeah.
All right, listen, Josh. Here's your short-term goal. Don't get anyone pregnant. Don't shoot yourself in the foot.
Break up with all these girls. Just let them know that you're not in a place to have a relationship.
They're shipping them out to Bosnia,
but
so that's fine.
That's fine. But don't let them think for one more moment that they're your girlfriend. You are hurting other people. Do you understand? These 15, 16-year-olds, you are illegally hurting somebody that's supposed to be protected by the law from people like you for exactly this reason.
All right, come on. Don't screw with anyone, Josh.
I won't.
All right, now go kick some of that Bosnian ass.
You already are screwing with somebody, Josh. Stop screwing with them.
No, who cares? He's just bragging. I got myself a 15, a 16, 17, 18, 18 and a half, 18 3/4, 19-year-old girlfriend. And I banged one other chick at the processing plant. It's like, okay, Josh, you got laid. God bless you, you got laid. Yeah. Let's give him a gun and a grenade and just throw his ass out of the country.
That's what they're going to do.
Listen, all the other countries send all their idiots over to this country. Why can't we ship a few idiots? That's really our form of bad immigration, by the way. Taking guys like Josh, giving them a gun and sending them around the world. Think about that. At least the people that are coming over here don't have guns yet. I think we give it to them when they get off the boat. But think about all the trouble these idiots must cause in all these other countries. We get all these jackasses, 18, 19 years old from the Midwest. We give them a gun. They get drunk, and we send them just send them to Asia somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah, they can go there and rape some 12-year-old.
That's what they do.
Yep, Heather.
Hi.
You're 22.
That's what's been known to happen anyways. But
yeah, I just want to first tell you guys that I love you and I love the show, and I think you guys are helping a lot of young people. I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And Adam, I think you're hysterical and quite a hottie. So.
Oh, really? Good looking too, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Really? What do you look like?
Well, I'm 5'10". Well, actually, this has to do with my call. I'm considering getting breast reduction.
I just looked up on the screen and saw that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Breast reduction.
Hold on. Let's not do anything hasty. You're 22.
Yeah.
You're 5'10".
Yes. I just lost, in about the last year and a half, I lost a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started off, I was like a 38 double D. Now I'm a 34 double D.
Ooh.
But I didn't lose. I lost more around, like the measurement around, than actual cup size.
Good for you.
But they're just not, I don't know. It's the only part of my body that I think looked better before I lost the weight. Now I don't know, the tissue's it's softer.
Yeah, they were full before.
Yeah. And so my question is...
You know the beauty about being a guy? I could put on 400 pounds. I wouldn't put an ounce onto my penis. You understand that? I could put 400 pounds on my belly and thighs, and my penis would just look smaller. I'd probably lose an ounce from my penis. What kind of cruel joke is that, Drew? I put 400 pounds on my body. I swear to God, my chin would get 75 of it, and my penis would not get an ounce.
I know that troubles you greatly, Adam, but I don't spend much time considering.
But that doesn't sound fair, does it?
Doesn't sound fair, but it is the way it is.
All right.
So Heather, what's the question?
Well, I wanted to know that, first of all, how much sensation, if I do get like a breast reduction or a breast lift, how much sensation would I be possibly jeopardizing?
They don't have, according to Dr. Marcel, Drew's smarmy doctor buddy, who's a renowned plastic surgeon, and you know it because he chain smokes and wears a lot of jewelry. He carries doesn't carry a wallet, but a sort of satchel type thing with his billfold in it. He says that there really isn't such a thing as a breast lift.
Right, that it's all either augmentation or
right.
reduction.
When I grew up, that's all I heard about, breast lift.
Yeah.
There was like this lift, somehow, you got older, your breasts start sagging, so they lift them up. It's an ingenious idea, and it sounds easy enough, but for some reason it doesn't. They don't do it.
They put something in there, lift them up.
I don't want them any bigger.
Yeah, but why can't they just sort of cinch this skin up at the top and actually just sort of lift them up a little?
It just doesn't work. You got to cut something out and lift it up. So anyway, so you want a reduction.
Right.
I don't think, sensation, as I understand, is somewhat variable. You can lose, certainly, but it's variable. And I don't think I would let that be a deciding vote. Although some women complain about that, I don't think that really is a deal breaker in terms of being satisfied with the procedure when they've had it done.
Yeah. Oh, thank God I'm not a woman. I don't care.
Oh, would that be?
It's worth dying early.
Just think about what that would be like.
Why?
For the world. Oh. you be one of those ladies pushing a shopping cart in the street.
Mm-hmm. I had a nice conversation. You know how you and your wife love Stephen J. Cannell?
Yeah.
The movie guy?
She does.
Yeah. I was watching A-Team the other day. A great episode of A-Team, by the way, where the forces, the drug overlord and the guy who's been running guns and the other guy who's into extortion, they all get together in a room and they do the slideshow about how A-Team has cost them dearly over the past years, all of them. And they're going to get together.
It's like
and put a hit on him.
It's like a Batman episode.
But except for Steven was serious.
Yeah.
This guy was a retard, this guy. I love TV. You crank out junk, and as long as you cranked out enough of it, you're a genius. Amy.
Yes.
You're 21.
Yes.
I know that was apropos to nothing, but it just jumped in my head. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm engaged, and I love him dearly, but we have sex or just making out or anything. It is just so awful. I mean, not awful, but it just...
What's the problem?
Okay. Once in a while, once in a great while, I used to love making out. Love touching him and feeling him, but like the longer we're together, if I get the urge to try to make a move on him or something, it'll be fine. And then as soon as he starts touching me or doing anything to me, I don't want to do it anymore.
There's something very wrong.
Why?
I don't know why.
What happened to you?
Something is very wrong. Either something intra or interpersonal.
What's the difference?
I'll tell you right now, this is the first time, and this is really bad, but this is the first time it's ever happened.
It's the first time it's been this kind of heat on a relationship. You're going to get married and blah, blah, blah. The relationship...
Even before this.
But the relationship may be ending.
What's the difference between interpersonal and intrapersonal?
What's going on in her, within herself,
as
shut
opposed... Shut up, baby. What?
What's going on...
Shut up.
No. Listen, you're getting too far.
Shut up.
What's going on within her as opposed to between them?
Interpersonal's in her.
Between. Intra is inside.
Oh, intra.
Like interstates.
Yeah, now what is that?
State to state.
I got another question involving that one of these days when I'm going to think of it. Amy?
Yes.
All right, I had to quiet you down.
I'm sorry.
All right, so what's going on?
It's just, it was wonderful. And this was like before we got engaged. It was just the fact that, I guess what his idea of being together and my idea are completely different. I don't know. Maybe that's it. I'm not real sure what it is, but he's a great guy. I love him to death. He's wonderful, but it's just...
There's always trouble when you say, I love him to death. That and I love him like a brother. It means
No.
I'm about to screw over my partner.
No.
He's a great guy. I love him to death. But that's right up there with I'd love to help.
No, this is the guy I want to be with.
Yeah. Well, either there's something wrong with the relationship or there's something wrong with you in stable relationships.
Anything happen to you that we should know about?
I wouldn't say that. There's stuff that's happened. I think there's,
Like what?
Let's get back. Okay,
like what?
No, I know how you guys get.
What?
But let's put it this way. Isn't there something that's happened to everybody?
No.
Not like what's happened to you. What happened to you?
My brother,
Yeah. He touched you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
okay.
you know
that
what?
hasn't happened to everybody.
Listen. I think something's happened to everybody.
No, Amy. No.
Okay, but look, I'm over that. I can get over it. That's fine. I forgive my brother. I don't see him. I don't talk to him. That's fine. I can forgive him for that. That's fine.
No.
Look, even engineer Mike over there, who doesn't listen to the show, knows there's something wrong. He just looked up and gave a puss, and he doesn't know anything.
But okay, I guess my point is I'm over that. I don't think about my brother.
All right, then. Well, good night.
All right, good night.
Goodbye.
Bye, Amy. You're healed. I don't know. There's a totally separate issue.
Why do we know that this was there?
Okay, but my point is I don't want to dwell on this. This is not a point in my life where I want to.
Well, then you need to get some. Then get some. Then get some.
I want to move ahead. I don't.
Amy, there is no such thing. There is no such thing as pushing things underground so you can move ahead. They will resurface in some other pernicious way. Go get some premarital counseling. See if you can come up with a plan to deal with this. Get an assessment of how much this is affecting you and how much it is the interpersonal situation, and then move on. Then move on. But don't defend and wrangle and rationalize. That's ridiculous. There's something wrong. Admit it. Get it evaluated and go on.
Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
I've never really noticed it until him, and he's.
But this relationship has much more meaning. It's very stable. There's a lot riding on this, and this is when this stuff surfaces.
Time for me to remove the velvet glove.
I mean, I love him, and I don't want to.
Amy.
Then go get some help. Work on it.
Let's talk about more important things. You got any kids?
No.
Don't have any kids. Don't have any kids.
I don't want.
And don't get married either. Because let me tell you, you got some serious issues, sweetie. You really do. Yes.
Absolutely.
That's all right. You're 21. Everyone's got issues.
I'm not. But
Listen.
I'm not like all these other people. I'm really not.
I agree.
Listen, you may not be, but your brother is. Do you understand? And he did something that was horrible.
Listen. It was once, and it was.
That's enough.
No.
I don't think about it.
Yeah, Amy, look.
And I knew you were going to ask me about that.
No, but Amy,
right,
no. She's
Drew,
right.
Would you be quiet and let me explain
what she's saying?
No, listen though. She said, "When I love my fiance very much, we're planning on getting married, but when he touches me, I get recoil. I get sickened by it." And all right, here's what I said: Who touched you? Who touched you before this? Yeah. Somebody touched you. That's the only time you recoil, when somebody touches you. Yeah.
That you love. Unless you're really angry with them, or if this is symbolic or something.
Somebody touched her. Yeah. All right. Her brother touched her. Yeah. That's a pretty heavy thing.
Yeah.
That's real heavy. I don't care if it happened half a time. It's a heavy thing. You can't sit here and argue with us that it doesn't affect you anymore, because you're calling us, telling us you recoil when your fiance touches you.
Right.
So obviously it does. So be realistic. And by the way, it's all right to have problems. Don't hurry on. Don't run to the chapel when you got a lot of problems. That's all right. You get a little counseling, you work a few things out, and you get married when you're 22, 23.
And she is right. It's not as though her whole character structure was destroyed by this, or her ability to have stable relationships has been or will be necessarily profoundly affected. But there are symptoms right now that are bothering her, and she got to get looked into. But at the beginning of a marriage, if whatever's going on now, believe me, it's not going away just because you get it.
I'm going to draw up one of my fantastic automotive analogies, Drew. Here's what it is. Look at marriage as a long cross-country trip in your automobile. I'd appreciate you not reading outside material I'm
listening to you. I'm not reading it. I'm just staring.
Oh, don't get real defensive. It makes me feel like an asshole.
I'm just sitting here. I was actually looking at the colors on this damn thing, listening to you.
Sorry. Who's that, Monet? It's a nice car. Okay, here's my point. Look at marriage as a long cross-country journey in an automobile. And maybe look at dating as just short jaunts to the liquor store and back. Now, before you go cross-country, you want to make sure you're going to make it, because it's a long distance, and there's a lot of stuff. Could be raining in Albuquerque, could be snowing in Iowa, there's desert, there's heat.
Prairie.
You really need to get your car in a condition. Much better condition than if you're just hauling your ass up to the Arby's that you manage 3/4 of a mile up the road and back every day. As a matter of fact, if it breaks down there, you just walk home. No big deal. No biggie. But if you want to go cross-country, you got to make sure everything's in order. Now, no one said you can't go cross-country, but they did say you got to put air in the tires, you got to top off the radiator, you may want to bring it by the mechanic and have him throw it up on the dynamometer. Check things out. That's all. Just play it safe so you don't get stranded in with that bitch who interviewed us in Arizona. That's all. That's all we're saying. That's all I'm saying to Amy. Get the car, throw it up on the rack, check it out, work a few things out. Just don't go on a long haul. You don't want to get stranded.
This is Loveline.
Hey there. It's the Loveline. What day is it?
Tuesday.
Thursday, is it?
Tuesday.
Why? I thought it was Thursday. Seems like enough. I got to get
That's
through.
this
I
morning.
got to get some of the sleeping pills from you. I don't want to set a bad example for the youth of America, but I got to get the pills. It is too goddamn hot outside to sleep.
You have air conditioning in your house, right?
I know, but you know what? My body knows it's 85 outside, and it's weird. It's like creating this false environment or something. It's like sleeping in the biosphere.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I know it sounds like BS, but I swear to God, when it's 80 degrees outside, even if you've been running the air all night and it's 60 in your house, there's something weird about it being 80 outside, right. And it doesn't feel right. I drive home at night, I get out of my car, it's 80 degrees, it's weird. I feel like I should be going down to the pond and skinny dipping.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
As it is, I just compromise and urinate on my lawn. There's nothing I love better. You know what I do? I urinate out of my den window every night. My den window is like 5 feet off the ground. I just piss right out of it.
This is just some sort of
screw you
power thing.
That's right. Yeah. I bought a house. Kiss my ass. I'm peeing out my window. I got a cigar hanging out of my mouth. I got a beer in my hand. My Johnson's hanging out the window. I got the big screen TV fired up. I'm just whizzing all over the place. And I think to myself, geez, maybe you shouldn't pee. And then I think, no, that's why I bought a house. I pee where I want. Sometimes I stop, halfway up my stairs and pee on my lawn. Can't make it into the house. Stand on my lawn, put my hands on my hip, I throw my head back.
All right.
Look up at Orion spell.
Let's go. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
I got to get some sleeping pills, Drew. I'm getting punchy.
Yes,
I got to sleep. Nikki.
Yeah.
You're 21.
Yes.
What's going on?
Well, my question is, my boyfriend, I have to beg him to have intercourse with me.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like 31, and I think that shouldn't be a thing I have to beg him for.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't figure out if it's because maybe, I don't think he's seeing anybody else, but...
No. If he was seeing someone else, he'd hump you because he wouldn't want to arouse suspicion. You understand?
Yeah.
Men are that diabolical. What?
Plus, guys who see other people are horny.
Yeah.
A lot of the times. That's why they're seeing other people.
What does he tell you the problem is?
He says it's because there's a lot of stress going on in his life right now, and he's got just too many things going on, and and that he works late, and so that the next night will be the night, and the next night, and it keeps going on for like weeks. It's been over about 6 months now.
Is he on any medication?
Nope.
Does he have any medical problems?
No.
You put on any weight?
Have I?
Yeah.
No, actually, I've lost weight.
Oh, you have? Maybe he likes a little cushion for pushing.
I tease him about that. I say maybe he likes fat women. But he says no.
White guy?
Yes.
No.
No, doesn't like fat women?
No.
I don't know. It just makes me feel like I'm just not good enough for anymore. I don't know.
Yeah. How long you been with him?
About 3 years.
What's up with him?
Well, something's up with him because he's 28 and he met her when she was 18.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Maybe 17?
Mm-hmm. I was 18.
Has he always been this way? I'm sort of this way?
No, it started out like hello, like almost every day, and then and then it was always.
Well, all right, hold on. Every guy curtails his sexual activity.
Yeah, but this is
a lot.
Yeah.
But all guys start off, and women don't believe it. Lisa's over here shaking her head. She knows what I'm talking about. Guys start off, they come out of the gate charging like a quarter horse. Part of it is, a lot of the times, they haven't gotten laid in a year. You know, you guys think a lot of guys are getting laid every weekend, going to clubs and whatnot. Believe me, it ain't happening. I mean, when I would hook up with a girlfriend or a girl, it had always been 6 or 8 months since I've had any nookie. So, you got that under you.
6 or 8 months.
All right. 16 to 18 months, I should have said. Not only is that motivating you, but you're trying to hump the old hump out of them. Whoever the guy was with him before, you got to do better than that. You got to earn your stripes. You got to hump. You got to hump. It's like you got to somehow get his Johnson residue out of there with your own. You got to get your own smell in there, and you have to impress. And you're really horny. And like they say, a new broom sweeps clean. You're very enthusiastic. Now that always is curtailed as the months and years wear on, but then it usually settles into what the guy's normal drive would be, a couple times a week, whatever it is, depending on the schedule, so on and so forth. But this haven't done it in 6 months thing, that's an issue. The other thing's an issue, though, is you were 18 and he was 28 when he met you, and there's something a little bit flawed with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a senior in high school or just out of high school, and this guy's, Dooley's age, for Christ's sake.
So it's...
How old are you, Dooley? 31. You sicko. Look at you.
You're my stern but groovy master, Adam.
Imagine Dooley getting on your 18-year-old. What a disaster. You'd be running for the rock salt shotgun so fast. All right, Nikki?
Yeah.
Break up with him.
Break up with him?
Yeah. Don't stress. What are you talking about with the
He's like,
stress?
we talk about marriage all the time, and
Well,
I don't know.
Get better with that.
You better get to it. He's withdrawing from the relationship. He's pulling back.
But guys, though, it's usually even something more than that, isn't it?
I don't know. I've done this.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You're working your way out of the relationship.
Yeah.
You're just withdrawing.
Yeah.
You're in it, but you're not really in it.
Yeah. I can see that.
6 months is quite some time, but...
Yeah. It's not nearly... And we talk about women withdrawing or sort of having difficulty connecting physically if there's any intimacy problem. That's a much more subtle thing. When a guy's withdrawing, it's because, it's fourth down and 60 yards to go.
Look at the guy. He's 28. He was 28 when she was 18. He met her. He's been with her for 3 years. Do you think he's the kind of guy to stay with her for 25 years? No. Veronica.
Yes.
You're 22.
Yes, I am.
What's going on?
Well, ever since I had my son, I've had a problem with sexual intercourse. I went and I had a pap smear done, and I found out that it's my cervix tipping.
The whole uterus.
Yeah.
Flipped over.
The whole thing. And so she had a problem doing the pap smear.
And what's the cervix usually tip? 15, 20%?
I have no idea. Enough to hurt really bad.
She's figuring it out.
If the party's over 12, though, the tip's included, isn't it?
Right.
Okay.
I was just wondering if there was something I could do to, prevent that from happening.
No, your uterus, the position of your uterus is just different than it was before the pregnancy, right?
Yeah, because it never happened before.
Okay, so it's just a different position, that's all. And you try to find positions or less deep penetration, that sort of thing. As long as you know there's not an infection, there's nothing structurally wrong. It's just one of those things you have to manage.
So there's nothing that I can do to make, because it's not all the time. There's, a lot, some of the times, me and my husband can accomplish,
That's the point. You just have to work sort of with it or around it.
What's up with women's
I don't
parts?
understand.
What?
It tips
It's
During-
retroflexed. It's flipped.
during the pregnancy or during labor?
No.
Birth?
It's just back in a different position than it used to be before.
Is that common?
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is common. It doesn't have to be related to pregnancy.
And there's no way to
Retrograde.
surgically put it.
No, it's
Make
not. There's
it-
nothing to it. It doesn't mean anything. There's no purpose to that.
If she's having painful sex for the rest of her life?
But she's not, though. She can work around it. She's sort of focused on this, right? We can get around it. It's no problem. That's right. You can.
Huh.
She's just worried about it. There's nothing to worry about.
The guys have any floating
If your
parts?
penis was inside out, you'd be worried about it.
Not inside out. Just a different position. It just, thing flops over anyway, right? Just flopped in a different way.
Really?
Right?
Yeah. So,
I have to draw pictures.
Yeah.
Can I see?
Where's the cervix?
It's right here.
Uh-huh. If you're going to draw the vagina, draw hair on it. It'll make it look like an older woman.
Go on.
Otherwise, that's a horrible drawing.
It was. I didn't make it.
All right. I don't know where the cervix is. Go home and look it up on the computer, all you kids.
For Christ's sake.
I don't care. No longer care where the cervix is. All right. What is that? The fallopian tract?
That's the uterus. This is the cervix. And the vagina is just like right here. These ovaries are here.
There's the ovaries, right?
Okay.
Where's the cervix?
Cervix is just the tip of the uterus.
Oh, it is.
Right. And in reality, it'll flip like this. In her case, it's flipped the other way.
I'd have to look at a cadaver.
Yeah.
I'll have to wait till I get home.
Okay.
All right. Wait, you got a call, Drew? What do you want to take? Zachary.
Yeah, this is me.
You're 26.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, okay, my girlfriend, this is going to be like a combination question. She just recently had an abortion about 3 days ago. And before that, we were using condoms in that. And that was effective, but it's not completely effective. Obviously, she got pregnant.
What happened?
Well, we got the abortion in that.
No. How'd the condom fail?
Well, actually, it slipped off.
All right. That's enough.
It slipped off.
Okay.
But, she just had the abortion. She was okay with that. But, you see, the problem is that now she's being put on birth control. She's really nervous about what type of pill to take.
Why?
Well, she's heard just a lot of bad news because she is a smoker. And she said, there's increased risk of heart attack in that.
In smokers over 40, maybe, but that's really not a big issue.
I don't know why so many women are so freaked out about the pill and hear so many things. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm going to grow a mustache. I'm going to get a heart attack. I'm going to get bloated.
Think of all the hundreds of millions of people that are on the pill.
And
How many of you run into that have had significant medical problems as a result of it, and have been for decades?
That's true.
That's what I was going to say.
Uh-huh.
It's no problem. All right, next question.
Okay, the next question is her sex drive. I just don't understand it. I can initiate sex 1,000,000 times. I have to be the one that initiates it, that tells her let's have sex, but I can never get a positive answer from her. I mean, her sex drive is really low. I mean, I can say I can't ever expect her to want to be enthusiastic about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Has it always been that way?
Yeah, since I've known her, and I just can't understand it. She says she enjoys the sex when she's having it.
Well, some women are just need to be, they're more receptive than they are likely to be provocative, if that's a way of putting it.
They're counterpunchers.
Yeah,
they don't go out and start trouble.
And that has something to do with the biology and something to do also with the social and psychological circumstances. And women aren't taught to initiate. They're taught that they're supposed to be sort of swept off their feet and made to be caught up in it.
And if they, listen, all you guys who want the women to, hit them over the head with a rolling pin and drag them into the bedroom, I understand you got an ego involved, but as long as she's letting you hump her and she's enjoying it,
right?
Come on.
Right.
What else do you want?
And there may be some help for him too. The triphasic.
I mean, she's holding the still. The
triphasic
I just
pills
said that because Anne's freaking
may increase the sex drive a little bit, so that might be the choice for her. Triphasic pills.
All right, so she's demure, but she enjoys it, and she's not turning you down. So you bring it up. It's all right. You're probably faking it, but that's all right. All right, Drew, should we take a quick break here?
Please.
Why don't we sell one of these calls?
This is Anne. Can brother press charges against family because recently dead mom molested him? That's a weird one.
That's good.
Oh yeah, everybody now. Loveline will be right back.
Hey, it's the Loveline, the most stupidest show in the whole entire-ish world. Phone number. Oh, forget about that phone number. We're getting dangerously close to nappy time for me. Drew, I don't want to bug you anymore, but what is it that I need to take? What is that sleeping pill?
Restril.
Restril?
Yeah.
And is that the one I need? Is that the one that only makes you sleepy for 4 hours?
Right.
Okay.
Roughly.
I need that one. Right now, I'm on the weed and boozeril. I don't know if you've heard of those pills. But I got to cope.
Hello?
I got to cope the pain. Ann?
Hi.
You're 16.
Yeah.
What's going on?
My brother, he's trying to press charges, or he was trying to press charges against my mom. He said that she molested her, and then she died, and now he's saying that he's going to press charges against the family. And I want to know if that's possible or how I can handle it.
Can you slap a corpse with a subpoena, Drew?
You mean he's going to blame the rest of you for not having rescued him from this crazy mom?
Well, yeah.
I've heard of situations like that.
How old is your brother?
He's 18.
When did your mom pass away?
Just over a year ago.
Alcohol related something?
My brother has a drinking problem.
What about your mom?
My mom? No, she died of breast cancer.
Do we know what she did to him?
Nobody believes it. I don't believe it. She was a wonderful person, I don't think that she would have done something like that at all.
Like what?
Molested him. He has problems,
Yeah.
Any other brothers in the family?
Well, there's 6 of us.
Anybody else get affected in any funny ways?
No.
Hey, listen, Ann.
Yeah?
I gotta need you to be a little clear with your answers. Are there any other brothers?
Yeah.
How many brothers might there be?
4.
Uh-huh. And
Sorry.
what would their ages be?
Oh, there's my oldest brother. He's 23, and then there's Ryan, the one that is pressing charges. He's 18, and then there's 2 twins, and they're 2.
They're 2?
Yeah.
The same mom?
No.
Different mom?
Yeah.
They're stepbrothers. Is that half-brothers of yours?
Yeah.
All of them, or just the twins?
Just the twins.
They're your dad's kids?
Yeah.
Were you living with your dad the whole time?
Yeah.
Why weren't you living with your mom?
My mom's dead. I was living with my dad and my mom.
I see. I got the impression somehow that she died recently.
No, she died over a year ago. Just over a year ago. She died in June last year.
But you were living with her until she died?
Right.
Okay. And then Dad had already left her. Why?
No, he was having an affair while she was sick. I don't know why.
And that's where the pregnancy came from?
Right.
Okay.
That's got to be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's chivalry's not dead.
Yeah.
Does your father wear a top hat and use a cane?
White gloves.
Wear a beautiful vest.
No.
Beautiful paisley vest. And when he looks at me, ask him what time, does he pull a pocket watch? What kind of prick is your dad? Your mom is in dying of cancer and he starts up with another relationship?
Oh, I don't, yeah.
All right. Well, so there's a little nuttiness in the family, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just your brother, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
I mean, you've been through a lot, right?
Well, not really. I'm not. Well, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Well, what is it? You've been through something, right?
No, it's just,
No.
you know.
Recently.
Recently?
Recently you've been through some stuff
No.
with your mom dying and stuff.
Well, yeah, that kind of stuff. And
Yeah. So, listen, I don't suspect your brother's going to get too far with this.
There are as many effed up attorneys as there are effed up people like this to do things like this.
Yeah, they might as well squeeze a tube sock over a sifter and see if they can pan some gold. Please. There's nothing to get here.
Right, that's true.
Nobody's got any money. Let me tell you something about attorneys. They're vermin, but they're not dumb vermin. They go sniffing around for where there's money, and then where there's money, they just close you down. Like they closed down Dow Corning because Dow Corning makes breast implants, and they have billions of dollars. It's no coincidence that they go, all the frivolous lawsuits are against Pepsi and Coke and Dow Corning and all these huge corporations who just have to throw some shut-up money at them and keep themselves out of the newspaper. But, Ann, you don't have any money, and neither does your family, right?
no.
Right. I sense that. So I wouldn't worry about your brother.
Okay. But another thing I was wondering is, it's just like, how do I, like, handle myself around him?
Is he still living with you?
No.
Good.
I just keep my distance and see if we can get him into some.
And I hate to tell you this advice, but I've sussed out your family, and I think you're kind of on your own.
Okay.
You're going to have to take care of yourself, look out for yourself, get good grades, get the hell out of there, go off to college, and have a good life.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
You don't have to live the life that your family led.
Yeah.
I got to tell I don't want to talk about myself too much, but I
you
do
will
love that. My family was a mess, My mom and dad got divorced when I was 7, and no one had a pot to piss in. It was, welfare all the time and driving around in crappy VWs. I got the life of Riley now. I studied my family like a robber who was staking out a jewelry store. Except for unfortunately, I had to do it for about 15 years. There's a robber that looks at it for like a week, and then he goes and robs the place. I studied my family closely for 15 years. You know what my conclusion was at about the end of that 15-year period? I don't want to be anything like this. This is horrible. No one's got any money. Everyone lives in a crappy house. This sucks. So what'd I do? Figured I'd make a buck and get a house. That's all. You don't have to become like them. You can actually look at them and decide what you like and don't like. My family, they're good people. They treat other people right. They have some good qualities. So I ignored myself. But
yeah, no doubt about that.
You try to save some of those.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you throw out the stuff you don't like and try to replace it with stuff you do like. I don't know why everyone is so damned to just like they're damned. Well, their dad's an alcoholic and their mom's abusive, or their dad's abusive, or they got married and pregnant when she was 15, so I'm going to... Stop it, you idiots! Haven't you seen firsthand what kind of pain this can bring to you? Why do it? Your mom had you out of wedlock. She had too many kids too fast. You lived in some crappy apartment. You had to use food stamp and welfare. That sucks. That's what my mom did. Food stamps and welfare. It's humiliating. I'm not doing that. I saw it and went, hey, that sucks. I'm not doing it. Why don't people do that? Why they do the same thing? I can't figure that out. James, that's how come I know people are flawed. I mean, that is a flaw. That is a huge design flaw. You know what I mean?
It's hard to understand why that's built into the system.
Yeah.
What the evolutionary advantage was.
Nothing. Doesn't do anyone a lick of good. It's just a flaw. It's a design flaw. It's like that airport they built in Denver or something.
Yeah, I've
had a lot of trouble with the luggage thing there. Hey, James.
Yeah.
You're 21.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, man, my old lady, she likes having more sex than I do. Okay, she always wants it at all times.
Did we just talk to our girlfriend his girlfriend a few minutes ago?
No, man. That dude was 31, man. All right. The difference between my case and hers is that she says that when we're having sex that I hurt her, but she gets off on the pain.
That's trouble.
And so, what's the what else?
You know, it's kind of really hard for me to explain. She's gone through a lot of stuff in her life.
Oh, yes, she has. Yeah.
You know.
Right.
And now she wants me to support her for the rest of her life and this, that, and the other, and having sex with her for me is kind of difficult.
Why?
Why?
Because he's got a train rolling through his living room?
No, I understand. Yeah, it sounds like that, doesn't it?
Well,
stopping. It's just coming to a stop.
What's going on there? Are you near a train?
No.
What's going on in the background?
Nothing. I think that's just the air conditioning. I've got nothing turned on here.
It sounds like one of those 50s space movies with the rocket ship engine. You know, it would sound like inside the Martian rocket ships.
Yeah. They're hatching their plan. All right, James?
Yeah.
This woman is screwed up, right?
Well, yeah, in a sense. Right now, all right, you see, I've been in jail for the past 6 months on charges I didn't commit. I got kicked out. They threw me out of the jail, and they dropped all the charges on me, and I haven't seen her, and now I'm supposed to be going back up to Alaska to be with her.
Oh, Alaska.
Yeah. And she's on up there right now, and right now she's staying with her father, who has been molesting her.
Great.
You know.
He's currently molesting her?
Right now, probably as we speak.
Another flaw to go back and think you can change that.
Well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
But he's my dad. What can I do?
How do they, in Alaska, if your dad molests you, does he force you to rub his nose on your nose? Or is that Eskimo Joe? Eskimos in Alaska anymore, Drew? I don't know. Hey, James?
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's 17.
Well, I understand the question. What is the question?
He doesn't really, listen, he doesn't have a question. James?
Yeah.
This girl is going to be a real tall order for you.
Well, we're engaged to be married. We've been together for almost 3 years.
Don't do it. As God is my witness, James. Do you understand? I think of myself as a genius.
Yeah, I think of myself as one, too.
I hope that teaches you a lesson, Adam.
I got to get a new title. You understand? I think of myself as a jackass, James.
Oh, really?
James, no genius has that laugh.
What laugh?
Geniuses have maniacal laughs, not the one where they snort. All right, listen to me, you mofo.
Yeah?
I swear to God I know everything.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to 21-year-olds who just got sprung. This girl, her father's molesting her. She's 17 years old. She lives in Juneau. There's trouble. This marriage will never work. I swear, God is my witness, this thing is not going to work. Do you understand? You are attempting to sandblast the Eiffel Tower.
Right.
And you have
single-handedly with
no rigging.
With sandpaper.
That's right, with a nail file.
Yeah.
This is way too big a project. You are raising the Titanic. You understand me?
Single-handedly with fins and a snorkel.
And you got a balloon, and that's it. This is the project that you have undertaken here, James. Believe me. Oh, hey, listen, people don't know. When your dad is molesting you that way, you need 5 years of serious counseling before you even go on a date. Trust me, everybody. Listen, I don't mean you have to punish people that have been victimized, but do not marry them. That just gets them That is a form of punishment in our society, isn't it? They just step from one sort of bizarre, enmeshed, screwed up situation right into another. They just go to work, baby. It's like moving a family of beaver from one stream to another. It's just, all right, got to get some wood. Got to get going. That's it. They need to be dry docked for a while. Okay, I'll be back. Yeah?
Smiling Dooley.
Yeah, I think Dooley's getting laid or something. Maybe. You know what Dooley figured out?
Huh.
I think I put it together. He figured out that the circumference of his penis was just marginally smaller than the opening to the bone. And I think there's where the demeanor changed.
The Lycus are getting around a little bit, I think.
Oh, yeah. Just making the rounds. Mm-hmm. All right, thank you all for listening. I want to thank the fabulous Lisa and the beautiful Sherry for doing a wonderful job tonight, as usual. Of course, the angular one, producer Ann, for putting her feminine stink on the show. And, of course, the one-nut wonder, engineer Dooley, as we're now calling him. So we got to get a little continuity, because the Lycus show calls him Dooley, and we call him Engineer Mike, and I think it's two different guys. Right. All right, so until next time. And I thought most of your angle was a confusion angle. You throw a few smoke pods off, and then you try to drag someone in the bushes before they know what's going on. All right, so until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
While listening, you may feel the urge to touch yourself.